interesting what is going on the directors of what is known as ZASM, Zimbabwe Anti-Sanctions Movement. Yes, that Rutendo Chitando is part of the core directors of this organization coming in. He had a position also in that particular organization. Now we know that this organization, ZASM, director specifically Rutendo Matinyarare, has actually tainted ZANU PF by revealing that he was a hired gun by ZANU PF doing the social media campaign, claiming to be fighting sanctions. One would have thought that it was something that was coming deep inside, deep from his heart, but this was not coming from Rutendo's heart. In fact, according to him, he was paid by ZANU PF. Now there is Simba Chitando coming also lighting up social media, saying what Rutendo had said. In fact, contradicting everything that Rutendo had said. Now remember, what Rutendo has already put on the public domain tarnishes the image of ZANU PF, and it may subject even this organization ZASM to scrutinization in South Africa by the government of South Africa, especially the role that is played by Zimbabwe and ZANU PF in terms of influencing government policies in South Africa by the African National Congress. Now, who is Chitando contradicting Rutendo, deciding to come out because he is doing this in the interest of saving their organization, or in the interest of actually setting the record straight? I don't think so. And on this live broadcast, I'll be unpacking my views regarding the current development on social media. Greetings and welcome to your lovely channel, the Hlonipani Global News. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very one to watch us. So before I communicate further, let me try to play the audio. I hope it will actually from Simba Chitando. Let me try.
Hi everybody, my name is Advocate Simba Chitando. I am a director of the Zimbabwean Anti-Sanctions Movement, alongside the other director, Mr. Rutendo Matinyarare. I want to talk about ZASM, I want to talk about sanctions, how ZASM started, the work that was done, and I want to talk about the funding, because that is a very topical issue on social media at the moment, involving various names. So ZASM is basically a few like-minded Zimbabweans who came together and formed a civil society organization registered in South Africa, specifically to target the illegal and unlawful sanctions imposed on our country. ZASM approached many people for help. And I want to be very clear that we do not have an agreement with anybody. We have not signed a contract with anyone, and we do not have a bank account, Zimbabwe Anti-Sanctions Movement, to receive any money from any party. We approached the state. The state understandably said they could not support our initiative. But we sought the assistance of individuals all over the world to assist in our fight against the illegal sanctions on Zimbabwe. One of those individuals included Dr. Kuda Tagure. Mr. Matinyarare,
just put the name Kuda Tagure. We'll come on that.
And he agreed to meet us to hear our story. He had seen the work that we've been doing. Dr. Tagore had seen the fact that ZASM had taken legal action against illegal sanctions. He had seen the content on social media, had seen the demonstrations outside American embassies, and he agreed to meet us. He flew us to Zimbabwe and covered all of the expenses. And for that, ZASM remains very grateful to Dr. Tagore for assisting our fight at the very beginning. Amongst others, Dr. Tagore met ZASM, represented by Simba Chitando as a director and myself as a co-director of ZASM in his offices in Harare. And at that meeting, we explained all of the expenses that our civil society had incurred and that we had actually paid out of our own pockets. Dr. Tagore covered those expenses, and a payment of above R1 million was made to each one of us for that, for our expenses. Dr. Tagore agreed to cover the legacy debts of ZASM, which included the legal issues, and also on top of that, covered our personal expenses and agreed to even go further and cover ZASM's expenses in its fight against sanctions going forward. Insofar as how ZASM actually worked our roles, Lieutenant Machinyare was responsible for the PR work, which is why many of you have seen him and you may know him from his work on social media. While I was responsible for leading the legal team that made this the challenge against the sanctions on Zimbabwe. In regards to the funding, which is the issue that everybody is talking about, ZASM has no legal contract with any party. The civil society organization received donors, funding from people who were like-minded, who felt as though they want to support our challenge against the sanctions on Zimbabwe. That was the case back then. It is the case right now. ZASM, as we speak, has been inactive. It is actually due deregistration in South Africa where it is registered. ZASM is not involved in any litigation at the moment. We withdrew our case against the American government because the sanctions, the executive orders had been withdrawn. So our organization is, as we speak, dormant and due deregistration. So, having said that, let me address the elephant in the room. Does Dr.
Okay, the video is just okay. Let me.
ZASM money? The answer categorically is no. No to any other individual. Nobody owes ZASM any money. We've all seen the videos, we've all seen that there is a new doctor who has come forward to make additional contributions to ZASM and add another vehicle on top of the other vehicle that we received from Dr. Tagore, making it 2 vehicles in Mr. Machinyare's garage for ZASM's work. I want to be very clear that I have not met the new doctor. I'm unaware of any funding that is being given to ZASM as a director in regards to this new money. So I look forward to having a discussion with Mr. Rutendo Matinyarara about the new vehicle and the new funds that have come to ZASM. To sum it up, I don't normally come onto public spaces, but my name has been dragged into a very nasty fight, and there's been a lot of sensitive information that's been pushed into the public space and a lot of misinformation as well. And I thought it important to set the record straight.
All right. So that is Simba Chitando. And now, having listened to this submission by Simba Chitando, one thing is quite clear. We know Rutendo Matinyarara made some allegations of which I have frantically said it's not possible for Rutendo to influence the United States of America's decision. But what is true about what Rutendo did, it angered ZANU PF. Not only did it anger ZANU PF, it put ZANU PF into disrepute. The operations of ZANU PF and the dirty shenanigans under Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa were exposed. We got to understand clearer how the regime operates from the information that has been put on public domain by Rutendo Matinyarara. Whether the information was legally obtained or not, that is the discussion for another day. But we know most of the information that he has shared with Zimbabweans. It's equally true. Whether Rutendo Matinyarara should be a trusted individual, I've said that. Once a ZANU PF, always a ZANU PF. I think it was quite clear they paid him, and he wanted the tap never to run dry. He wanted the tap to continue actually working and functioning very, very well, something that they could not sustain. And also, he puts into trouble, especially Themba Mliswa, as well as this fellow Budawashe Takwirei. And why Simba Chitando had to record such a video? If you look at that video entirely, you can tell the man has been funded by Takwirei. This is how Takwirei has been operating. You would never have thought that he was the brains behind Rutendo Matinyarara. And remember, Rutendo Matinyarara has revealed that the man had presidential ambitions, and at some point saying he could have been a better president, but because he doesn't pay people, he makes people to work, and he doesn't pay them fully their money. So if you look at Simba Chitando, he came to try and give an impression. ZASM is not just Rutendo Matinyarara's organization, is part of the organization, and that is what he was saying, and that we were never given money by organization. In fact, it's us who went and asked for money. ZANU PF, it's clearing ZANU PF, because within ZANU PF, in secret corridors, there may be discussions about the extent of rot under Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa, and also the impact of using parallel structures have actually destroyed the little, if there is any reputation that was in ZANU PF. So this man, Budawashe Takwirei, using Simba Chitando, is trying to discredit everything that was said by this guy Rutendo Matinyarara. Of course, Rutendo may have, maybe, especially because he's pompous, sometimes saying, I personally removed sanctions. I don't believe that line of thinking, and I'm not so sure whether there is a Zimbabwean who can actually believe that. But on the fact that he was hired by ZANU PF, and Mnangagwa's family was involved in this, the children of Mnangagwa were involved, Rutendo is speaking the truth. But did ZANU PF or Mnangagwa want this information to be on the public domain? Obviously, no. Also, The other aspect, what you are seeing being done on social media, it shows that ZANU PF did not heal from the wounds inflicted by Rutendo Matiara, and also the issue of Budawashe Takure using Chitando to lambast Tungwara, of course, not mentioning the doctor that was talked about there. It is Tungwara that we understand Rutendo has been given the vehicle. Was the vehicle given to ZASM when an announcement was made by Tungwara? Definitely it wasn't. I think we can even visit the tweets of Tungwara. He did not give the vehicle to ZASM as an organization, but the vehicle was given to an individual, that is Rutendo, and you can see this fellow saying we need to do some investigations regarding the donations that were made to ZASM. You can see there are clashes also within the Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa camp. That is precisely Budawashe Takwirei, as well as this Tungwara. And Tungwara, I believe, he is not acting on his own. Going to Rutendo Matinyarare, he was given clear instructions, in my view, by Mnangagwa to do so, because Rutendo appeared to be recording people. He has many records of people. I think it's public knowledge and common cause, because he has released some of them and promised that more will keep on coming. And Mnangagwa may have said something, or his children, to Rutendo Matinyarare. So, because he could not most probably get him through other people except Tungwarara, that is why Tungwarara began carrying out the job. Is it about silencing him with money and a vehicle? I don't think so. I think it also involves totally dealing with Rutendo Matinyarare, because he has been a problem to ZANU PF, in my view, and ZANU PF is using the principle of catching a fish. If you want to catch a fish, you put what the fish likes, the worms. And what has been the worms in this regard, it is that vehicle and that cash. And you could see Rutendo was already enticed, meeting with Tungwarara, looking forward to meet him. It may be a project not concluded now, but it may be a project that they are working forward to make sure that at the end of the day, because they understand maybe that he has a lot of information about Mnangagwa, to be precisely, and as such, Tungwarara may have been, and from the look of things, also Budawashe Takwirei seems not to be happy with the intervention that was made by Tungwarara, but I strongly believe that money by Tungwarara may have given the blessings by Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa, because how do you explain someone going to reward someone who insulted Mnangagwa? And Mnangagwa just let that someone. And remember, this is a presidential advisor. Like I said when he started to lobby for Central Committee, I said it had the fingers of Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa all over it. They tried to resist it. Budawashe Takwirei saw him as a competitor and tried to resist it, but eventually Politburo had to embrace the man. This time around, Chris Mutswangwa, the flip-flopper of note, was seemingly on the side of Budawashe Takwirei. As much as the Mnangagwa faction looks to be making inroads, but it is confronted with deep-rooted crisis. These people may end up eating each other also, and they are future serious enemies. A lot of information about Takwirei, about Themba Mliswa was heard by Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, and that has potential to also taint their relationships. Thank you very much for watching us. If you are watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. You can financially support this channel by pressing the join button and be part of our members who are the heartbeat of this channel. You can equally do so by pressing the thanks button and stars. Is signing off. Let me love